I would like to welcome you all again, Khush Amdeed, and a very happy Pakistan Day to all of you. We are very excited to launch EvalYouth Pakistan, an independent chapter under Pakistan Evaluation Association. Before going into the proceedings, I would like to introduce myself. I'm one of the moderators of this event. My name is Mohammadullah, and I'm the co-leader of EvalYouth Pakistan. I'm currently working within INGO based in Bangkok, Thailand. With me, there are two other co-moderators, Ms. Ifra Hassan. She is the co-leader and founding member of EvalYouth Pakistan. She is also one of our young and emerging evaluators who is currently pursuing her master's degree in Hungary. And the third moderator would be Ms. Shaista Jabin. She is also co-leader of EvalYouth Pakistan, and she is currently working as mill officer in a USAID-funded project. We are also requesting all our guests and their participants to kindly help us raise our profile on social media by using these hashtags, EYP Launch, EYP Pakistan, EvalYouth. We are requesting a few things from our participants. Kindly mute your mic and turn off your camera if you are not speaking. But please do remember to turn on your camera and mic when you are asked to speak. We are also requesting you to kindly put your original name by renaming yourself. Put your first name first and then last name. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the chat box. We will be trying to respond to your questions and comments after the launch ceremony via email or social media posts. If you are facing any sound difficulties, please click the audio settings at the bottom left of this Zoom screen and enable any external device if you are using any headphones or speakers. Before starting the proceeding and inviting our colleagues for a welcome note, we would like to hear the national anthem of Pakistan. Since today is Pakistan Day, so we'll start the proceeding with the national anthem of the country. Now, I would like to invite our colleague, Mr. Hur Hasnain. Hur is the founder of Pakistan Evaluation Association and was elected as board member at International Development Evaluation Association. Hur is also a well-known author, and his publication on evaluation in fragility, conflict, and violence is currently in press. So, Hur, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mohammed. Hello and Assalamu alaikum, everybody. It is such a great pleasure to welcome you all at the launch of EvalYouth Pakistan today. In the presence of such esteemed guests from around the world, as well as from Pakistan, we are really honored to have you all on board. 45 people so far, and we are counting a lot of people are joining us. So 23rd of March, the Pakistan Days, we have purposely selected this date as it has a big significance in Pakistan. The Lahore Resolution was passed 7 years before the actual birth of the country today. And that is how, like, when we were deciding on a date, we thought it will be great if we could all agree on this date. So here we are today, and this is a perfect example of a living nation that all these young people, although from the evaluation community, has come forward to promote accountability and transparency in country through evaluation. While I'm talking about evaluation in the country, looking back, not very long ago, just a few years ago, together with a few other colleagues, my colleague Aman is also here. We saw a dream together of a more strengthened evaluation in Pakistan. And in the beginning, of course, it was challenging because there are many technicalities, many challenges around conducting, commissioning, or communicating evaluation country. But we could do a lot of things, amongst which a few things are like holding Pakistan Evaluation Conference a couple of years ago. That was the first time we held an evaluation conference in the country. We launched Eval Indigenous survey throughout the country to find out the challenges that the evaluators face in different parts of the country, especially in tribal areas, or where access is really difficult. We also managed to launch a guide on how to conduct evaluation in difficult contexts, and a lot of events with different universities, like kind of promoting and educating young students on evaluation, like what is evaluation, how to do it, how to recognize kind of things. A lot of participation from our peer colleagues in international conferences. It was again not the norm, but we really promoted through peer, inviting people. And my presence at IDS, which is one of the largest development evaluation association, also helped there. And then this EvalYouth, which the idea was there, people were there was a lot of energy, there were a lot of young people, but then it happened now, but then we have been thinking about it for a while. So it is really a moment of pride to me, to the Pakistan Evaluation Association, for having its youth chapter, where the youth will take power and make sure that every decision the Evaluation Association will make, and on a larger scale at country level, introducing policies and these capacity building events and etc. I hope this youth chapter will make sure that their presence is ensured and they take active participation in all these decisions. I am very sure there is a long list. I'm sorry, I'm not taking any name. Because there is a long list of very esteemed speakers after me who will talk about the role of young people in the development of the country, in doing evaluation for promoting transparency and accountability in the country, and also the fact that the young people are the present as well as the future of Pakistan, or the whole world. And this is especially considering the fact that the young and emerging evaluators of today, by the time it comes to evaluating the SDGs in about 10 years' time, you will be the people who will be the lead evaluators, taking the lead on evaluating, defining the standards, and doing the evaluation for the country, for region as Asia Pacific, and sharing your lessons throughout the world. I'm very happy to see this very strong network of young people that I could see has actually established and very much strengthened now. And the credit actually really goes to Khalid Bethar, my friend, Marco Sigone, and all of you guys to making this community of young people who are talking about evaluation, promoting evaluation, for effective decision making and accountability. So I'm very, very excited to be part of all this. But just like to mention that I have worked with all of these people for a long while now, and I see a great potential. And I assure you that together with the Pakistan Evaluation Association, and also personally as Hurrasnan, I will be standing beside you in all the initiatives that you take. And with this, I won't take much of your time. I once again thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedules. And I welcome you all at this very important event of launching the EvalYouth Pakistan today. Thank you very much, everybody, and looking forward to listening to all of you.
Thank you, Husnain. Let me invite our colleague, Mr. Nazirul Haq, who is alongside being a co-leader of EvalYouth Pakistan. He is also the core member of EvalYouth Asia. He is currently working as mill officer with an INGO in Thailand. Mr. Nazir, floor is yours.
Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and assalamu alaikum. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome all of you to the official launching ceremony of EvalYouth Pakistan, which is the network of young and emerging evaluators in Pakistan, and as Hur explained, is the youth chapter of Pakistan Evaluation Association. We are really excited and grateful at the same time to see such a great turnout of participants from Pakistan and as well as from the global evaluation community for joining us on this special occasion. I would particularly like to thank the distinguished speakers who are strong advocates of young and emerging evaluators for taking out time to share their perspective with us and to provide motivation, support, and inspiration to this newly established chapter. Engagement of youth and young people in evaluation is essential just as in any other sector of the society. The reasons for me are simple. Young people deserve the right to represent their own interest, but more importantly, with the passion, motivation, energy, and values and competencies they bring to the table, these young people have the potential to transform the field of evaluation. The future of evaluation relies on the young people, and EvalYouth Pakistan is proud to join EvalYouth chapters from around the globe to provide an enabling environment for young and emerging evaluators to shape their present and their future, and to transform evaluation and ultimately contribute to sustainable development at the national, regional, and as well as the global level. And that's what EvalYouth Pakistan is going to be about. Taking this opportunity, I would like to thank all those who have supported us immensely in the process of establishing this chapter, starting with EvalYouth Asia Regional Chapter, the country chapters in Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, and India, who have been generously sharing their experiences and lessons learned with us, and we have learned a lot from their experiences. Needless to mention, the board of directors of Pakistan Evaluation Association, who have not only provided guidance to us, but work hand in hand with us throughout the whole process. And I would really like to thank and appreciate my colleagues from EvalYouth Pakistan, who have been working a lot over the last few months, contributing through their time, knowledge and resources. And I believe that with a team like this, EvalYouth Pakistan is going to be among the most dynamic chapters in the world. Thank you once again for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of the night or the rest of the evening. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
Thank you, Nazir. Now we will move to presenting the Evaluation Pakistan Strategy, Governance, Partnership, and Communication Plan. For this, I would like to invite my colleague, Ms. Sarah Ahmed. Sarah is the co-leader of EvalYouth Pakistan, and she is also currently working as Monitoring, Evaluation, and Learning Officer with DIA Pakistan. Sarah, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much, Mohammed, for that wonderful, warm welcome. And just wanted to say good morning, good afternoon, good night to all of the attendees, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for being part of this momentous occasion for EvalYouth Pakistan. My name is Sarah Ahmed, and I will be briefly discussing what EvalYouth is all about, what our vision is, and how we see EvalYouth in the future. So first of all, what is EvalYouth? EvalYouth is a network of young and emerging evaluators from Pakistan, and it is also a youth chapter of the Pakistan Evaluation Association. We are institutionally aligned regionally with EvalYouth Asia, but on an international level, we are aligned with EvalYouth Global. So we're part of a lot of these different networks, which gives us a very strong foundation to work in the evaluation space in Pakistan. Moving on, what is our vision? Our vision is for young and emerging evaluators from Pakistan to effectively contribute to equitable and sustainable development at local, regional, and a global level. And we do this by empowering young and emerging evaluators from Pakistan to become leaders in evaluation through engagement and through consistent capacity building, as well as creating avenues for networking. Our eventual goal is to increase the supply of competent professional evaluators in Pakistan, such that we can establish, young Pakistanis as excellent professionals in evaluation, both locally and abroad. Now, moving on to what we see as the strategic framework of EvalYouth Pakistan, based on our long-term outcome, which is to increase the supply of competent professional evaluators in Pakistan. We have a number of different ways that we have envisioned how we want to achieve it. So moving on to the next slide, I'll elaborate it further. So when we talk about this long-term outcome, we'll do this through breaking it into a number of pieces, which is our medium-term outcomes. Can you change the slide, please, Mohammed? Thank you. So engagement. So when we talk about engagement, we're talking about engaging diverse people from all different backgrounds, be it women, be it people with disabilities, be it people from different ethnicities and backgrounds, and that for us will make a very rich tapestry, and will bring a very rich source of information and context to the evaluation landscape in Pakistan. Next up, we will be focusing on building, strengthening the capacity of these young and emerging evaluators through different conferences, through different capacity building workshops, webinars, and different opportunities. Moreover, the next step would be to foster a very strong networking among these young people, because that is how you get to exchange ideas, you get to have a dialogue, you get to understand what are the best practices, what is happening internationally, as well as come up with new and creative, innovative ideas in the field of evaluation. And lastly, we'll also be working towards this goal through establishing EvalYouth as an effective and sustainable platform for young and emerging evaluators. In this vein, we have also developed a results chain, which is quite elaborate, as you can see, and we've sort of briefly touched upon it previously, so I won't go into the details, but I'll move on to the next slide, which is on strategy implementation arrangements. So all of this looks really wonderful, in diagrams and all these visuals, but how are we going to do it? We will do this through having a very strong executive committee and a management group, which will overlook all of these activities. We're already in the process of developing task forces for different action areas, whether it's strategy, whether it's capacity building, communications, etc. We will also make annual plans to make sure that everything is planned out, and we have a roadmap to follow. We will also be building on partnerships, both locally and internationally and regionally, to support us in these endeavors. We will also build on existing achievements and existing evaluation work and existing organizations that are working in evaluation, and take them all with us and work collaboratively. Lastly, we will also be continuously reviewing, monitoring, and evaluating our own processes, our own objectives, and our own activities, so that we can continuously improve. Next up, how do we envision our management? This is a very simple diagram of how we look at it, and the very purpose of doing this is we want to have a very diverse pool of young people. We want people from different genders. We want people from different ethnicity, different backgrounds, different socioeconomic classes. And that is how we will build and we will create a very, very strong community of people who can add value to the evaluation practices. So moving on, how can one become a member of EvalYouth? A very, very important question for a lot of young and emerging evaluators who are part of us in this session. So our membership criteria is you need to fall in one of these 4 categories. So either you are under the age of 35, or you have at least 5 years of professional experience in evaluation, or you are a recent university graduate and are very interested in joining the evaluation or monitoring and evaluation space and are just looking for that jumpstart. Lastly, we will also be open to development professionals who have relevant technical knowledge and have worked previously on monitoring and evaluation particularly, and are interested in becoming evaluators, professional, independent evaluators or professional evaluators in the future. In this vein, we also will be developing and fostering partnerships with, like I mentioned, both local, regional, and international organizations. So we've listed down some of the organizations that we have already partnered with and are in talks with partnership as well. And through this network, we want to leverage it to gather more opportunities, to gather more opportunities for capacity building, more opportunities for exchange of learning between different organizations and also different points of view. So moving on, we have a very important aspect of how we will reach out to our young and emerging evaluators is through our communications and social media. In an age, in a post-COVID era, I think digital platforms have become extremely crucial, and so EvalYouth has already established most of our digital touch points, and because these conditions are here to stay, we'll be making the maximum use of our social media platforms to reach out to different people, to make sure that we share opportunities, we share capacity building avenues for our members in the future. So next up, I'll pass on. So this is it from my end. Now I'll pass it back to Muhammad, who will carry this forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for the detailed presentation on EvalYouth Pakistan. Now we would like to invite our chief guest, Director General, Mr. Mohammad Zubair, who is currently the Director General of Monitoring and Evaluation with Pakistan Procurement Regulatory Authority. He is a senior bureaucrat who has served various international and UN regulatory authorities. He is a qualified engineer and holds an LLB degree with distinction. With great pleasure from everyone associated with EvalYouth Pakistan, please welcome Mohammad Zubair. The floor is yours, sir. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera.
Zubair sir, we cannot hear you. I think you're still muted.
Hello.
Yes.
Now you are listening.
Yes.
Yes,
We would
now
like.
we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes. Now it's working.
Yes. Yes, now it's. I will come to you again. First of all, I pay my thanks to the management of Pakistan Evaluation Association who invited me on launching ceremony of EvalYouth Pakistan. I deeply appreciate the efforts of the volunteers for taking such an initiative that will open the new chapter in not only in the history of Pakistan, but in our regional countries, and shall be remembered as an effective and successful effort for introducing a new professional career growth for the young generation of the region. As you have introduced me as a Director General Monitoring and Evaluation of the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority of the Pakistan, I would like to share my little experience regarding monitoring and evaluation, because I have the experience of monitoring and evaluation in PEPRA as well as in Pakistan Nuclear Regulatory Authority for the 14 years. The term monitoring and evaluation is very broader in its perspective of the professional career and could not be limited to just one or two fields. We can see that a range of monitoring and evaluation is very widely spread. Hence, this is significantly and equally important for all the professions like engineering, like scientists, for the social scientists, and for the accountants as well. As far as engineering profession is concerned, this term is taken as the project monitoring and evaluation. In a regulatory perspective, this term is taken as the monitoring of the application and implementation of laws and evaluation of the existing practices and evaluate the laws for giving recommendation to the legislators and the parliamentarians for reformulation of the laws. However, in your perspective, as I have seen, as in the perspective of the social sciences, this is an exercise for the assessment of existing organizational behaviors and the behaviors of the society and to implement a transitional change in the society. Monitoring is a continuous process, whereas the evaluation is a periodic phenomena which is done with some frequencies. There are many tools being used in social sciences. For example, the survey as a quantitative tool and other interactive tools such as document review and comparative analysis. You can say interviews, focus group sessions. These are very interactive techniques for the evaluation process in addition to the statistical conventional techniques of the survey. For example, collection of data through devising an objective questionnaire is a quantitative tool, whereas the collection of data through other tools such as observations, participatory observations, and interviews and focus group, it is a very interactive and qualitative tools. The process of the monitoring and evaluation in its nature is very sensitive, and due to its sensitivity, two persons having the same data set may reach different conclusions. For example, we can say that a skilled and experienced evaluator can give the different result from that set of data, and an inexperienced and partially skilled person can give the different result, because the variables are contingent upon each other, and from only one set of data we cannot reach the conclusion. So it is very sensitive in the nature. The evaluators shall have to keep in mind the sensitivity of this project, sensitivity of the monitoring and evaluation. As far as the objective of the evaluation with respect to social sciences are to observe the social behaviors is concerned, the objective of the process is to improve rather than criticize, and rather than for the audit purpose of the society. And the real behavior should be the quite descriptive. Real behavior of the evaluator should be the quite descriptive rather than making such an exercise as a normative phenomena and keeping in mind some specific standards or yardsticks at very initial stage of the evaluation, when we are collecting the data or when we are making themes from the data. In other words, we should not be very judgmental at the initial stage of the evaluation. Once the first phase of descriptive analysis is complete, then we should move towards the indicators. They may be the key performance indicators, they may be the strategic performance indicators, they may be the some normative framework or some benchmarks that exist in order to determine the gaps between the existing practices and the required one. The last stage of the evaluation process is to give the recommendations for making an effective and efficient action plan for the improvement of the society, for the improvement of the organizational behaviors, and for the improvements of our culture. Hence, we can safely conclude that this is very essential profession to whom the individuals from various backgrounds can engage for their professional growth. However, without requisite expertise, the purpose of evaluation cannot be achieved, and the result of the evaluation could be quite dangerous rather than paving the way for improvement. So we need certified, experienced professionals in the field of monitoring and evaluation. I hope, and it shall be, that the management of Pakistan Evaluation Association shall make such efforts and arrange such interactive orientation sessions and workshops to produce such skilled professionals who will prove the asset of the society due to their expertise and professional descriptive approach. Once again, thank you for giving the opportunity to address during launching ceremony of such a memorable event, and I hope that you will be successful in your objectives, and I give you congratulations on the official launch of EvalYouth Pakistan in Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, DG Muhammad Zubair Saab. Thank you for sharing your insights, your guidance. We will definitely reflect on these as we move forward, and we look forward to more interaction with you, to learning from you, and to hearing your advices in the future. We will now request everybody to, those who are willing, as Hur Hasnain requested in the start of this event, to kindly turn on your camera, because we are going to take a screenshot which will be shared on our social media pages and might be used in our publication, which will be shared with external audiences. So we'll give around 2-3 minutes, and if you are willing, please turn on your camera so we can take some screenshots. Unfortunately, this is a virtual event, so this is our only option of taking photos of all participants. Sarah and Nazir, kindly adjust the layout. I'll stop speaking because a speaker comes on the main screen. So Sarah, please let us know when it is done, so you can unmute your mic.
You might need to shout out loud, EvalYouth Pakistan, so there is a smile on our face.
I think let's do it in 5 seconds.
Okay.
So 5, 4, 3, 2.
EvalYouth Pakistan.
EvalYouth Pakistan. EvalYouth Pakistan.
Thank you so much, everyone. That was really great. Thank you.
Thanks to you guys.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, moving on. I would like to invite Mr. Khalid Bethar, who is the chair EvalYouth Global Network. He's also founder of the Palestinian Evaluation Association and co-leader of Eval for Action campaign. He's an Emini specialist and is currently completing his doctoral degree at Willy Brandt School of Public Policy in Germany. Khalil will be sharing with us global perspective and how EvalYouth Pakistan can contribute. Over to you, Khalil. Please unmute your mic and turn on your camera.
Thank you, Muhammad. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Great. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And first of all, happy Pakistan Day. I wish you all a great day. And it's a great day with this event, but also with your time, with your family, I hope. And greetings to all colleagues who are with us today from most regions and countries, which is really nice. When EvalYouth in 2015 was established by 23 young and emerging evaluators from different regions during the International Year of Evaluation in 2015, in Nepal to be specific, during the second Global Evaluation Forum. The theory of change, as to speak, of EvalYouth did not have an item about regional or national chapters. In fact, the first time national chapter was established, we did not exactly know what to do, but it's an initiative from young and emerging evaluator in that region and then many other regions that have followed. And we basically just followed the leadership of young and emerging evaluators. 5 years on, we continue to do the same thing. We have celebrated EvalYouth 5th anniversary 3 months ago in November, and or 4 months ago now. And we saw that throughout this time, 7 or 8 regional chapters have been established, over 30 national evaluation EvalYouth groups, and chapters and youth groups in different countries. So the EvalYouth Pakistan national chapter follow this exactly the same modality, but we saw how organized it is from the presentation Sarah has presented, how building on so much progress from different regions and national chapters. And there are 3 factors in my view, or at least 3 that I will highlight, that are the factors that allow for national chapters and regional chapters to happen, specifically national chapter. 1, there is an active young and emerging evaluatory group within the country. And this we can see in EvalYouth Pakistan. And those young and emerging evaluators most of the time are also active in EvalYouth, the global network, through different task forces or activities, but also in their VOBI. But what is really important about this factor is those young and emerging evaluators most of the time are not only looking at building capacities of young and emerging evaluators and establishing these chapters just to build the capacities of young and emerging evaluators. As we saw from Nazir's presentation, from also Sarah, that issues of inequalities, issues of sustainability, issues of racial issues in many countries are central to why young and emerging evaluators are making these efforts. and starting efforts to establish the chapters. So it's not only about capacity building for YEEs, it's more than that. The second factor, I think, is the strong VOBI. That you have a strong VOBI that embraces young and emerging evaluators, not tell them, no, you should not do this, it's not good to do it. No, they actually embrace young and emerging evaluators, support them and be with them. And this is essential because without these efforts, you will not see EvalYouth chapters. And we saw from our colleague Hur how the Evaluation Association of Pakistan supported these efforts. And so it's not as competition, but actually something to build on for the future. And the third is also a byproduct, and it's very important, is to having a regional chapter of EvalYouth and regional VOBI that are also strong and supporting national chapters. Without these three factors, I think establishing a chapter is very difficult. In regions where we have these factors happening, you see a lot of new national evaluation, new chapters of EvalYouth, not only to be established, but to be successful. So as many of you know, we are now in the stage of elections for the management group of EvalYouth. The first time to have EvalYouth-wide elections. Beside this democratic process, I believe that chapters are the key to the sustainability of EvalYouth overall and youth in evaluation movement. So this is why when we launch a national chapter in any country, that these efforts are very important for the sustainability of EvalYouth, of the agenda of the evaluation agenda that was envisioned in 2015 until 2020, and now Eval Partners is doing new agenda, and the sustainability of the youth movement and the VOBI itself. So just wanted to, in the end of my speech, just to say I wish EvalYouth Pakistan all success. We saw from the plan that it will prosper, I think, and I'm very positive because one, it has a very strong team with our colleagues, and I will name some because I think a lot of effort went into this. Our colleague Hur, Nazir, Zain, Muhammad, Shaisha, Ifran, Nazir, Inam, Sarah, and so many. I think I just mentioned a few, which tells you how much effort are into this. But also, I think one of the key success will be the partnership that you spoke about, the partnerships with EvalYouth Global, EvalYouth Asia, different organizations, and most importantly, I think, the national efforts, working within the country, working with different governments and parliamentarians and government officials in order to bring about the very ambitious change that you spoke about and you want to achieve. So with that, I just want to congratulate you on the great efforts already done, and I wish you a great success in the future, and looking forward to hear from all of you and to see this great success happening in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Khalid Bethar, for sharing your perspective on EvalYouth movement and what role EvalYouth Pakistan can play. Thank you for taking your time and sharing your perspective with us. I will now invite our co-leader, Ms. Aksa Rubab. She's also the board member of Pakistan Evaluation Association and is currently working as a mini specialist with the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in Pakistan. Aksa will be sharing with us national evaluation landscape and role of EvalYouth Pakistan. Aksa, please turn on your camera and unmute yourself.
Thank you, Muhammad. And first of all, I would like to welcome all the participants to participate in this virtual launch event of the EvalYouth chapter in Pakistan. I'm really thankful for your participation. And here I'm going to talk about the national landscape of evaluation in Pakistan. As we all know, M&E is really important today as it has ever been before. Because as Hur has also mentioned that in light of SDGs and to produce evidence-based decision making, it is really important to do that with the monitoring and evaluation, and specifically with the evaluation. So we need to understand the context of Pakistan. So I'll start with the national level mechanisms established in Pakistan, as Mohammed Zubair have also mentioned, that monitoring and evaluation has been a function and it has been a priority of the government of Pakistan. So in Pakistan, a Ministry of Planning and Development has a dedicated unit of evaluation as well as of monitoring. So they have monitoring and evaluation human resource available. This department was established in 2010, but it has this department has faced a lot of turnovers, turmoils, and this is still facing this kind of situation because of the change of government and their priorities. So if we look at the recent situation of the Ministry of Planning and Development, its evaluation unit is mainly responsible to conduct evaluations of its public sector development programs. But it is this department is managed by 4 evaluation officers only, with the leadership of Director General of Monitoring and Evaluation. And it is, if we look at this human resource, obviously it's not sufficient for hundreds of evaluations each year for even its public sector development programs. Secondly, it has absence of its national evaluation policy or framework because of the situation of the department over the period of time. So if we see this situation at the national level, obviously there is need of collaboration and support for the national level Department of Evaluation. If we look the other side of the picture, there are other organizations, international organizations, UN agencies. They have their defined policies and frameworks, but again, they are working in silos and they even have lack of collaboration among themselves. So if we look at this situation, this next slide where I'll explain how EvalYouth Chapter of Pakistan Evaluation Association can support. So I have already explained this legal framework, that there is a dedicated department, they have human resource, but that human resource lack they lack capacities in the field of M&E, and even there's not sufficient human resource. There are other organizations, there are no nationally accepted guidelines and policies. So in this situation, how we can support like this, I see that EvalYouth Chapter of Pakistan Evaluation Association can play a significant role. As Sarah has already mentioned, that our result chain has a result chain has 3 main results. Those are those are dependent on the engagement, networking, and capacity enhancement. So if we look at the situation, these 3 results are very significant for us, and these results actually provide us a platform for us and space for us to provide that support to national level institutions as well as with other agencies and other emerging evaluators in the field of evaluation. So first of all, we can provide a support to young emerging evaluators with the help of academia and research institutions to launch evaluation courses, programs, and study programs as well. So we can also support government human resource, especially the monitoring and evaluation unit, with available opportunities and skills within national, regional, and global platforms. We can also provide support in the form of collaboration or networking with other agencies like UN agencies. Mohammed, next slide, please. So we can collaborate with the with academia, as I mentioned. We can collaborate with the global, regional, and national level research institutions, as we are doing, like Hur has mentioned. We have number of events and programs with the academia and research institutions. We can also engage young evaluation experts and new joiners in Pakistan with skills and human resources. So in that way, if I conclude my discussion, I can see a hope. Like EvalYouth Chapter has a lot to do in the national context of Pakistan, and we can promote the culture of evaluation, the culture of evidence-based decision making for national level institutions, for other agencies, and we can collaborate with them. So there's a lot of hope available, and there's a lot of space even available for EvalYouth Chapter to contribute into the field of evaluation and the landscape of evaluation in Pakistan. So with this, I would like to thank once again all the participants for patience listening and for participating in this virtual launch event. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aksa. Our next speaker is Mr. Asiva Kalugampetya, who is currently the president for both Sri Lanka Evaluation Association and the Asia Pacific Evaluation Association. For the past 2 decades, Asiva has worked in M&E for organizations such as International Organization for Cooperation and Evaluation, IDLO, UN Women, UNICEF, and he would today be speaking to us about insights from the Asia Pacific region. Over to you.
Thank you very much for inviting me for this wonderful launching ceremony. First of all, happy Pakistan Day. We must appreciate, great efforts by the Pakistan Evaluation Association, which is a member of Asia Pacific Evaluation Association. Actually, this is the 5th addition to the EvalYouth National Chapters family in this region. We hope more and more EvalYouth National Chapters will blossom in this region. In 2019, I remember very committed and like-minded YEEs initiated EvalYouth Asia, the regional chapter. The co-leaders of EvalYouth Asia made it a very vibrant network. Co-leaders became regional, global figures showing the path to others. I see great momentum of YEEs in this region as a result of dedicated EvalYouth leaders. And as you know, in this region, it is challenging to find competent evaluators to produce good quality evaluations. Evaluation has not emerged as a recognized profession as many other regions. There are no proper initiatives to enhance capacity of evaluators. Academic courses in evaluations are rare. Professional development opportunities are also not really available. In this context, APIA in partnership with EvalYouth Asia and other partners have started new initiatives to promote professionalization of evaluators. We have made a good progress, but a long way to go. We need more and more young people to join the evaluation profession, get technical knowledge and experience. We need to create more opportunities for them to practice evaluations. In less than a week, we are going to have the winter school for YEEs in Asia Pacific, which starts on Monday actually. This 3 days event is going to be historical as this is the first ever winter school in this region. EvalYouth Pakistan is a partner of the winter school. Actually, in addition, we have developed career readiness competencies for YEEs in the region so that YEEs can understand what are the competencies they need in their early career. We have started training for YEEs in Sri Lanka using a new training module on career development in M&E. We hope other countries in the region also strengthen capacity building of YEEs. Sorry. We hope within next 5 years, the region will have a great pool of evaluators with all these efforts. I wish all the best for the EvalYouth Pakistan, and I hope EvalYouth Pakistan will be a platform for newcomers to become M&E professionals. Thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Asiva. Our next guest, Mr. Marco Sigone, is the director of the Evaluation Office at UNFPA. Prior to this, he has led evaluations at UN Women and UNICEF, and he is also co-founder and co-chair of Eval Partners in Eval Gender Plus. So as he has also worked previously in Pakistan, I would like to invite him now to share his thoughts and experience at the launch of EvalYouth.
Thank you very much. Dear friends, Assalamu alaikum and happy National Day. It's really a great pleasure and honor to join you today at the launch of EvalYouth Pakistan. As you just mentioned, I mean, I have a special link with Pakistan as it has been the first country that I have traveled to and work outside of Europe. And I still remember the beautiful Karachi, Multan, Lahore, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Peshawar, and so on. So I congratulate the Pakistan Evaluation Association on launching its youth chapter and providing a dedicated platform for young and emerging evaluators in Pakistan. Today, 1/3 of Pakistan population is between the age of 10 and 24 years. This young population has the highest potential to bring about an equitable and sustainable future for all in Pakistan and beyond. Participation of young people is crucial to drive an equitable and sustainable recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic and deliver on the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. We can harness this power of youth by providing them an enabling environment to participate meaningfully in accountability processes for good governance so that no one is left behind. This is why the launch of EvalYouth Pakistan comes at the most critical time. Engaging in evaluations of programs and policies boosts the voice and agency of youth. Development interventions also benefit from innovation and the fresh perspective of young people. This shapes development programs that are more responsive to the needs of young women and men, and at the same time, more inclusive and sustainable. I would also like to recognize and congratulate the EvalYouth Global Network, so greatly, chaired by Khalil, who is at the forefront of strengthening and nurturing regional and national networks of young and emerging evaluators across the world. In particular, my greatest appreciation to EvalYouth Asia and to APEA, the dynamic regional chapter that has supported a large number of national networks to grow in the region, with the most recent one in Bhutan. I'm proud that the EvalYouth Global Network, the Asia chapter, and all its national chapters are partnered with the Eval for Action campaign. This advocacy campaign is led by UNFPA Evaluation Office, the Global Parliamentarian Forum for Evaluation, and the EvalYouth Global Network, with full participation of young and emerging evaluators at all levels. So I would like to take this opportunity to invite everyone, everywhere, to actively support and take part in the Eval for Action Tweetathon. That is a Twitter marathon that will take place on the 7th of April, marking the first anniversary of the launch of Eval for Action. This Tweetathon is an all-day global conversation in Twitter to accelerate action for influential evaluation, with a 1-hour Asia-focused conversation led by the Asia Pacific Evaluation Association and EvalYouth Asia. Dear friends, with the launch of EvalYouth Pakistan, young and emerging evaluators in the country have a formal network and mechanism to network and develop their capacities to deliver high quality, equity focused and gender responsive evaluations, and advocate for a stronger evaluation culture to accelerate the achievement of the SDGs in Pakistan. I'm really glad to see so many important stakeholders here today and greatly encourage government, parliamentarians, private sector, evaluation community, academia, and others to support young and emerging evaluators and youth-led accountability processes in Pakistan. To conclude, my best wishes to EvalYouth Pakistan and all the young and emerging evaluators that are steering it, leading it, and shaping it with all their energy. I hope young evaluators in Pakistan will take advantage of this opportunity to build their capacity in evaluation and accelerate the decade of transformational action and change to achieve the SDGs. Once again, my congratulations and appreciations to the Pakistan Evaluation Associations for supporting young and emerging evaluators in Pakistan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marco. We look forward to your advice in the future and engagement with UNFPA. I would now like to invite the Director of Peer Fund, Mr. Jonathan Johnson, to share with us civil society perspective on evaluation and the role of Evaluation Pakistan. Mr. Jonathan, please turn on your camera and unmute yourself.
I'm unmuted. Apologies, I cannot switch on my camera, but I'm very much excited to talk to everyone here over here. First of all, I'm beside being the country director for Tier Fund, I'm one of the founding members for PIA2 and very, very close associate of Ur, the super guy who's here. I want to formally thank Mr. Zubair, representing the whole of the super high stream system of our government. And then Marco, you spoke very well and you stole some of my words, but I'll try to, say something very different, but again, in the same lines. And of course, Khalid Bethar, so thank you for encouraging our young people from our country. Civil society have been quite interested to see emerging models. My experience in Asia Pacific, in Africa, better in Europe, have been that wherever we have seen, impact harvesting and really, seeing the change in terms of how better programming and decisive decisions have been made, that's only because of people like you guys, better evaluations do teach us much strong stories and strong lessons. And at the same time, it helps us to adapt the right directions. I'll be happy to answer any questions, but again, I just want to encourage a couple of thoughts, what I have. I'm sure that all of you who are in field of M&E, especially in evaluation, you've heard about the story of Yellowstone Park, and how introduction of wolves, if you're not, go back and do check that story. In a very simple way, there was a big issue with the ecosystem of Yellowstone Park in US, and whole ecology was disturbed. And they introduced wolves to cater so many issues. And end of the day, when they introduced wolves, they control the rodents. When they control the rodents, plants started emerging. When plants started emerging, birds started coming. When birds started coming, there was more diversity in terms of, new plants being planted. So you guys, all of you young people over here, you guys represent a very strong sentiment of that strong philosophy, being the trailblazers, being the innovators, and being the heads, or I would say custodians for disruptive innovation in our field. And I really want to encourage you and thank you for all these young people who are here with a lot of zeal, a lot of energy, and a lot of new ideas. I don't think so the ideas which exist currently within the industry, they have more life, they're going to die soon. So you guys are having that strong sense of urgency and at the same time ownership to help the industry, our country, our programs and civil society to make right corrective measures and at the same time inspire with new thinking. Thank you very much and happy to listen to all of you. God bless, take care. Over from my side.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for sharing your insights. I'll now hand it over to our co-moderator, Ifra Hassan.
Thank you, Mohammed. I would now like to invite Ms. Antonina Rishko-Francesco to tell us more about EvalYouth in Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Antonina has experience with social research, evaluation, and strategic planning, and is an independent MEO specialist. So over to you, Antonina.
Yeah, thank you very much. I am really proud seeing a lot of young and emerging evaluators from Pakistan during this launching event. It is a great pleasure to be here. And I've put my 3 recommendations, but I think that some of them are not relevant because you are so well established now that many chapters all around the world need like to take your experience, you know, and integrate in their like initiatives. But still, maybe I will like share just some insights from Eastern Europe and Central Asia chapter. I think first things that you should like think lighter and creatively about volunteers' motivation, because it is like a crucial for any EvalYouth chapter. And to think here, it's not like only to make some like personal attachment to network or to create some great environment in the network. And I think you already have that, but you just need to keep that in mind. Second one, it was a recommendation on some institutional capacities, but you already done such amazing strategic plan and thinking on partnerships. So I think you already covered the recommendations. Perhaps only things that like not overwhelm yourself with a lot of institutional like thinking, but rather to make this step by step in order not to make your life harder, but to make your like life more interesting and more involving, yes, in when you will be growing your network. And the last my like recommendation is to donate some time of the network to activism and to involvement of youth into evaluation. And I really like how abbreviation of E, action, wrote it's like youth evaluation experts. And it is like really nice, because I think that it's not only about young and emerging evaluators, but much broader. And we can like donate a part of our time and initiative to make like bigger impact, and actually to have a bigger impact at the local level to communities, but also the whole like national level of the Pakistan. So once again, congratulations on Pakistan Day and also on launching of national chapter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Antamina. I would now hand it over to Shaista to introduce the rest of our speakers.
Shaista, hello, everyone. Now I will invite Miss Mariana, Mr. Usman. Mr. Usman, over to you.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. You are listening? Hello, are you listening? Hello?
Yes, yes, we can hear
Can
you.
you share my, I have sent you some slides. Can you share that? Yeah, I just have it. Yeah?
Yeah, so let me just take 1 minute. Our colleague co-moderator voice was breaking up.
Otherwise, I can share from the screen.
Yes, I have included your presentation. I'll move ahead. So I'll just share this information with our participants that now we are inviting Dr. Usman Mustafa, who is the Professor, Joint Director, Project Evaluation and Training Division. He has a very institutional experience and learning for working for over 37 years in this sector. So I'll now move ahead to your first slide, Dr. Usman Mustafa.
Thank you very much. I'd like to talk about the project monitoring and evaluation, specifically with regard to project cycle management. And the objective of my presentation is to highlight the importance of monitoring and evaluation. And there are a lot of misconceptions among a lot of people who distinguish this monitoring and evaluation as evaluation is at the end of the year and like this and this. So basically the role of monitoring evaluation is in public project cycle is provide guideline for the required role, skill and tool for a project manager, ensure that he and she can effectively carry out their important role in helping to guide a project to successful completion. In Pakistan, if you can see, the major problem is mismanagement. And if you want to have a good management, we must have a this monitoring and evaluation an integral part of the management. Can you have next? Because there is a cycle. I have picture of the cycle. Next slide, please. So next, please. Look at that. I don't have so many slides, but I like to present here these 2 slides, and that's the more important, and that's highlight the role of the monitoring evaluation. Look at the traditional project cycle. This project cycle we have in all textbooks, even Government of Pakistan project manual, the project cycle is still like that. We have identification, then preparation, then appraisal, then approval, then we have implementation, and after that we have M&E and completion of the project, which is not a truth, which is not a reality, which is not the goal or objective of M&E. The M&E should be, look at this, the second diagram, where I name it as a pragmatic project cycle. Pragmatic project cycle means monitoring and evaluation and even impact is integral part of all phases of project cycle, or any project, any program we want to formulate, we want to have it successful, and we want to have it inclusive, and we want to have it sustainable, and it have a value for money, it has a value for time, and so on. We must have monitoring evaluation at every stage. Even before start of the project, you can have a monitoring evaluation. I have done my postdoc, and that was ex ante evaluation. Ex ante evaluation means that even you don't have the project, but you can evaluate, you can see the impact of that. This is just like that when as we are simulation. We are doing simulation, we are doing projection, we are doing projection and forecasting. So it's like another way is a term used GIGO, G-I-G-O. It's meaning garbage in, garbage out. If you have in your project, the inputs or SOPs are not followed, definitely you will get the result will not, you will not get the result. You will get the garbage in and garbage out. We have to make GIGO into good in and good out. Mean if you put inputs right with SOPs, with standards, with specific indicators, definitely you will get the output better. It is just like a production function. Is a production function is its relationship between input and output. And what input you put, that you will get it. Next slide, please. Next, please. So with this this understanding, now if you have M&E as an integral part of project cycle management, therefore its role is in all stages of project cycle. This will ensure effectiveness and efficiency. Like we have right thing to do, effectiveness is right thing to do, and efficiency is right way of doing things. So we are ensured with M&E, when we are taking care of M&E, we have effective and efficiency. Implementation with accurate evidence-based in reporting to guide and improve project program performance. M&E is, the objective of M&E is to support management information system. It is not its goal is facilitation. Its goal and objective is to make the thing much better and sustainable. Similarly, we have to learn and sharing of the things. If we do monitoring evaluation at the end of the project, so what's the fun of that? We already lost number of things. So what I am again suggesting that particularly with the young and because still a large number of people I have seen, they are confused with monitoring and evaluation, that evaluation after that and this and this. No, it should be even at every stage and keeping in mind with the objective to facilitate, to highlight the goal and objectives. So upload accountability and compliance. Definitely when you have a monitoring and evaluation at all stage, you are upholding accountability and compliance. Provide opportunity for stakeholder feedback to adapt to changing needs. So when you are, and now we have a number of things that participatory monitoring evaluation, RBM, I'm not going to talk about this, but there are so many ways which we can adopt, and we can use that tool and techniques in order to achieve our goal and objectives. Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Thank you very much, Dr. Usman Mustafa, sir. We will definitely take a note of good in, good out GIGU, not garbage in, garbage out GIGU in our way forward with EvalYouth Pakistan. Thank you for precisely, concisely, and very interactively.
All of you, particularly your contribution and involving the youth people. And this is really great efforts, and congratulations all the team members. Thank you very much for inviting me too.
Thank you, sir, for taking your time and participating. I would now invite Sylvia Salinas Muller, who is a feminist with a specialization in Indian studies. She has over 30 years of experience as senior consultant, researcher, and evaluator in social development sector. She was elected as president of the International Organization for Cooperation in Evaluation, and she has been working as chair of the Latin America and Caribbean Monitoring and Evaluation and Systemization Network since December 2017. Over to you, Ms. Sylvia.
Hello, good morning and greetings from La Paz, Bolivia. Here it is about 11 a.m., so we have a great time difference. Congratulations on the Pakistani National Day, and it is really a pleasure to participate in the launch of the EvalYouth Pakistan, representing the IOCE, the International Organization for Cooperation in Evaluation, that currently has 170 regional and national VOPEs, or voluntary organizations for professional evaluation, as members. In the last years, young and emerging evaluators have certainly challenged existing assumptions and adult-centered ideas in the global, regional, and national evaluation ecosystems. However, I think that the path to more inclusive organizations, open mindsets, and intergenerational relations in evaluation is not easy, and that we still have a long time or many steps to go. But regardless of the challenges it certainly implies, I am convinced that it is not only the future, but the present, as some others have already mentioned, that belongs to the youth. Actually, we need to co-own the present to be able to co-create the sustainable, equitable, and just future that we all dream of. Very often, young evaluators are just labeled as the learners, but I think that we should abandon certain paternalistic and hierarchical perceptions and relations to recognize, make visible, evidence, and value the different contributions of young evaluators, for example, in terms of technology, innovation, and new evaluation approaches, and even evaluation paradigms. We live in the times of VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Experience-based knowledge is not enough to address the challenges and opportunities of the present. We need the knowledge and ways of thinking of the youth to abandon our comfort zones and move faster towards relevant and effective solutions for the future. But we also need to revise our organizations and embrace diversity and inclusion consistently and with coherence to ensure truly democratic and future-oriented VOPEs that can bring us closer to the achievement of the SDGs and leave no one behind. I am very happy that to have been invited to this very important milestone. Congratulations. This is my last week actually as RELAC, as a chair of the Latin America and Spanish-speaking VOPE, but I will stay at IOC president, and I hope we can join forces and join dreams to make a more inclusive future possible, to make intergenerational dialogue and organizations possible and that the new paradigms for the future are built together between young and not so young evaluators and people. Thank you very much and congratulations for this important and inspirational milestone.
Thank you so much, Ms. Olivia. Now I will invite Ms. Mariana Branco. She's an economist and evaluation specialist at World Bank Independent Evaluation Group. She will share some thoughts on opportunities for EYP to engage with global evaluation community.
Shaista, I'm not sure Mariana is here yet. I think we can go to the next speaker.
All right. Our next speaker is our co-evaluation youth leader, Ms. Ifra. Over to you. Unmute yourself, please.
Sorry about this. Okay, so hello everyone. Again, my name is Ifra and I'm currently studying public administration at Central European University in Austria. So I was encouraged to join EvalYouth back in December by her after a discussion we had over the evaluation landscape in Pakistan and some of the challenges faced by young evaluators in making it in and conducting evaluations. So since joining this forum, I've actually met a lot of other brilliant evaluators from all across the country, some of them working outside Pakistan, and have some of these people I would not have encountered had I not been part of this network. For me, that has been one of the main driving factors for joining EvalYouth, to meet other evaluators and to learn a lot about their experiences, the best practices they have encountered, and the challenges they have faced. So I'm hoping that I can learn from my fellow evaluators as well as from some of the professionals in this field who have much more experience than I have, decades, even as we have seen. And I hope that I can become a better evaluator, learn more about just some of the best practices in the field from this, and also get guidance on my capstone project, for instance, which is where I'm evaluating policy innovation labs. I'm also excited to see and interact with other women evaluators here who are working in the development field, because this is something I'd been told when I first joined in, that this is a field which is not the best for women because you have issues with data collection and with getting people to report timely and provide data. It's, even though gender sensitive evaluation is something which is very much needed, but that is one of the things I'm hoping to learn more about from some of the trainings, I guess. Evaluators, female evaluators, I'm going to meet through this platform. So I hope that I can grow as a professional through this and meet more like-minded and inspiring individuals. Thank you.
Thank you, Ifra. We have also received some good wishes, videos from all over the globe for our EvalYouth chapter launch. So here are these.
Marhaba and congratulations EvalYouth Pakistan chapter on your new establishment. We wish you all the best and know that you are just about to embark on a great journey ahead. Mabruk.
Hi everyone, I'm Alejandra from EvalYouth Global. I wanted to congratulate our friends from Pakistan for the launch of EvalYouth Pakistan. I wish you all the best, and of course you have all my support.
It is a great honor and pleasure to be joining you, EvalYouth Pakistan, for this launch. This is a great choice to make. I wish you good success and prosperity as you move towards empowering YEEs, both in Pakistan and the world. Once again, big congratulations, EvalYouth Pakistan.
Kuzo Zangpo and greeting from Bhutan. I take great pleasure to join you at the launch of EvalYouth Pakistan. I, on behalf of EvalYouth Bhutan, would like to congratulate Pakistan for launching your country chapter today. We would like to wish you a grand success and hope to work together in near future and support young and emerging evaluators in strengthening the evaluation capacity. Thank you and Tashitala.
Congratulations, EvalYouth Pakistan. EvalYouth Sri Lanka welcomes you to the YE network in the region. We wish you all the best, and EvalYouth Sri Lanka looks forward to partnering with you for future events.
EvalYouth has been able to expand to a number of countries, and it is a great pleasure that Pakistan is starting its own country chapter. A very hearty congratulations to the team for the launch of EvalYouth Pakistan. I'm really honored to become a part of this launch, and I wish you all the very best.
Assalamu alaikum all. EvalYouth Pakistan chapter is an amazing opportunity for the inspiring youth of Pakistan. If you want to build your career in monitoring and evaluation, or you want to take your skills to the next level, this is the right forum for you. This forum is going to shape and transform you into an evaluation champion of the future. Please join EvalYouth Pakistan if you want to create an impact at the highest level.
Great. So last but not the least, I'm going to invite our co-leader, Mr. Zan Hedri, for a vote of thanks. Zan, over to you.
Thank you, Shaista. Good evening, everybody. I am honored and lucky enough to have the opportunity to give a vote of thanks on this special day. First of all, on behalf of EvalYouth Pakistan, I would like to thank all of you for giving us your precious time and for joining this launching event. I extend my heartfelt thanks to the respected guest speakers, especially Mohammed Zubair, Marco Sigone, Khalid Bethar, and all the dignitaries. We are all inspired by your great words. I would also like to thank our partner organization for their support and encouragement, especially Evolve for Action, EvalYouth Global Network, and EvalYouth Asia. We are also thankful to members of Pakistan Evaluation Association, especially Hur Hasnain and Aman Ali. Without their generous support and guidance, this event wouldn't have been possible. We greatly appreciate their efforts to promote the use of evaluation in Pakistan. Finally, I will take this opportunity to thank the entire EvalYouth Pakistan team for their hard work and tireless efforts which made this event possible. Their collaborative participation and willingness to go above and beyond what was required to organize and prepare for this event is very much appreciated. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Thank you. With this, we conclude the launch event of EvalYouth Pakistan. Thank you, everyone.